Ancient Egypt, a land where the past whispers through the sands and the echoes of a grand civilization still resonate. A land shrouded in mystery, its vast deserts and monumental structures tell tales of gods, kings, and a people whose ingenuity defied the ages. A civilization that continues to fascinate us millennia after its zenith. The hieroglyphs etched into stone walls are not just symbols but stories of triumph, sorrow, and the quest for immortality. The pyramids stand as silent sentinels. These colossal structures, built with precision and purpose, have withstood the test of time, guarding the secrets of the ancients. They guard the secrets of a people obsessed with life, death, and the promise of eternity. The tombs, filled with treasures and artifacts, speak of a belief system deeply rooted in the afterlife. From the fertile Nile Delta to the scorching desert sands, the Egyptians crafted a culture unlike any other. Their innovations in agriculture, architecture, and art were unparalleled. Join me now as we journey back in time. Let us walk the paths once trodden by pharaohs and peasants alike, and uncover the daily lives of these remarkable people. Let us uncover the strange habits and intriguing beliefs of this ancient world. From their complex pantheon of gods to their meticulous burial practices, every aspect of their life was intertwined with the divine. The Egyptians believed in a vibrant afterlife. They envisioned a world beyond death where the soul would embark on a journey, facing trials and tribulations before reaching eternal paradise. They devoted much of their lives to preparing for this journey. The construction of tombs and the creation of funerary art were acts of devotion, ensuring safe passage and protection in the afterlife. Their elaborate tombs, intricate rituals, and the practice of mummification offer us a glimpse into their complex worldview. Mummification was not just a method of preservation but a sacred rite, essential for the soul's survival. It was a world where gods walked among men. The temples and statues were not mere structures but sacred spaces where the divine and mortal realms intersected, where pharaohs ruled with absolute power. These god-kings were seen as the earthly embodiment of the divine, their rule ordained by the gods themselves. It was a world where magic and reality were inextricably intertwined. The priests, with their knowledge of spells and rituals, wielded power that could alter the very fabric of existence. Death was not the end for the ancient Egyptians. They viewed it as a significant transformation, a passage from the physical world to the spiritual realm. This belief was deeply rooted in their culture and religion. It was merely a transition, a journey that required careful preparation and rituals to ensure a safe passage and a prosperous afterlife. A portal to another realm, where the soul would continue to exist and thrive. The tombs were designed as eternal homes for the deceased, filled with everything they might need in the afterlife. They believed that preserving the body was essential for the soul's journey in the afterlife. The physical body, or ka, needed to be intact for the soul to recognize it and return to it. This is where the fascinating practice of mummification comes in. It was a sophisticated process that reflected their advanced understanding of anatomy and preservation. The process was elaborate and meticulous, often taking up to 70 days to complete. Skilled embalmers performed these rites using specialized tools and techniques passed down through generations. It involved removing internal organs, which were believed to be the most susceptible to decay. These organs were carefully stored in canopic jars, each protected by a deity. Drying out the body with salts, specifically natron, was a crucial step. This natural desiccant helped to prevent decomposition by removing moisture from the body and wrapping it in layers of linen bandages. Each layer was applied with care, often accompanied by prayers and spells to protect the deceased. Amulets and charms were placed among the wrappings. These items held significant spiritual power and were believed to offer protection and guidance in the afterlife. These were to protect the deceased from evil spirits and ensure their safe passage through the various challenges they might face in the underworld. Finally, the mummified body was laid to rest in a coffin. This coffin was often a work of art, intricately designed to reflect the status and beliefs of the deceased. It was often adorned with intricate paintings and hieroglyphs. These decorations were not merely for aesthetic purposes but held deep symbolic meanings. These texts contained spells and prayers, meticulously inscribed to guide and protect the soul on its journey. Their purpose was to guide the deceased through the underworld, a treacherous realm filled with obstacles and dangers. The Egyptians believed that the heart was the seat of the soul. It was the most important organ, representing the individual's essence and morality. During the weighing of the heart ceremony, the heart of the deceased was weighed against the feather of truth. This was a critical moment in the journey to the afterlife. If the heart was pure, the soul would be granted eternal life. This eternal life was envisioned as a paradise, a perfect reflection of the world they knew, free from suffering and filled with joy. The pharaoh was not just a king in ancient Egypt, he was a god king, a divine ruler who was believed to be chosen by the gods themselves. This unique status set him apart from other monarchs of the ancient world. He was believed to be the living embodiment of Horus, the falcon-headed god who symbolized kingship and protection. This connection to Horus was not merely symbolic, it was a fundamental aspect of the pharaoh's identity and authority. Horus was the falcon-headed god of kingship, often depicted as a powerful bird of prey. His image was a constant reminder of the pharaoh's divine right to rule and his duty to protect and lead his people. The pharaoh's power was absolute, his word was law, and his decrees were carried out without question. This absolute authority extended to all aspects of life, from the administration of justice to the organization of labor and resources. He controlled all aspects of life and death. The pharaoh was responsible for the well-being of his subjects, ensuring that the land was fertile, the harvests were bountiful, and the people were protected from external threats. Ramses II, one of Egypt's most powerful pharaohs, exemplified this divine status. Known as Ramses the Great, his reign was marked by military prowess, architectural achievements, and a strong connection to the gods. His reign lasted for over 60 years, a period during which he left an indelible mark on the history and culture of ancient Egypt. His longevity as a ruler was seen as a sign of divine favor and stability. During this time, he expanded Egypt's borders through military campaigns. His victories in battle not only secured Egypt's borders but also brought wealth and resources to the kingdom, further enhancing his reputation as a god-king. He also commissioned monumental temples and statues. These grand structures were designed to showcase his divine power and to honor the gods, reinforcing the idea that the pharaoh was both a mortal ruler and a divine being. These structures were not just symbols of his power, they were also centers of worship and community life where people could come to pay homage to the gods and seek the pharaoh's favor. They were offerings to the gods. The temples and statues served as a bridge between the earthly realm and the divine, a place where the pharaoh could communicate with the gods and ensure their continued favor. They solidified his connection to the divine realm. Through rituals and ceremonies, the pharaoh reaffirmed his role as the intermediary between the gods and the people, maintaining the balance and harmony of the universe. The pharaohs were expected to maintain Ma'at. This was the Egyptian concept of order, truth, and justice, a fundamental principle that governed all aspects of life and ensured the stability of the cosmos. Ma'at was the Egyptian concept of order, truth, and justice. It was the pharaoh's duty to uphold Ma'at, to ensure that the laws were just and that the people lived in harmony with the natural and divine order. They were seen as intermediaries between the gods and the people. The pharaoh's role was to interpret the will of the gods and to act on their behalf, ensuring that the kingdom prospered and that the people were protected. Their role was to ensure the prosperity and stability of the kingdom. By maintaining Ma'at and acting as a bridge between the divine and the mortal realms, the pharaohs secured their legacy as divine rulers and protectors of their people. In the arid climate of Egypt, personal hygiene was paramount. The Egyptians developed sophisticated bathing and grooming rituals. These rituals were not just about cleanliness, they were also about spiritual purity. Both men and women shaved their heads. This helped to prevent lice and keep cool in the heat. They wore elaborate wigs made from human hair or plant fibers for special occasions. These wigs were a sign of status and were often adorned with jewelry and perfumes. Cosmetics played an important role in ancient Egyptian society. Both men and women wore makeup. Kohl, a black powder made from galena, was used to line the eyes. It was believed to ward off evil spirits and protect the eyes from the sun's glare. They also used rouge to color their cheeks and lips. Henna was used to paint their nails. Animals held a special place in the spiritual beliefs of the ancient Egyptians. They believed that certain animals possessed divine qualities. These animals were often associated with specific gods and goddesses. Cats, for example, were revered as the embodiment of the goddess Bastet, Bastet was the goddess of protection, fertility, and the home. Crocodiles were associated with Sobek, the god of strength and power. Falcons, with their keen eyesight and ability to soar to great heights, were linked to Horus, the god of kingship. The scarab beetle, with its habit of rolling dung balls across the ground, was a potent symbol of rebirth and transformation. It represented the cycle of life, death, and resurrection. They believed that these animals could intercede with the gods on their behalf. Killing a sacred animal was considered a serious crime. The ancient Egyptians enjoyed a varied diet. Their fertile land provided them with an abundance of crops. Wheat and barley were staples. These were used to make bread and beer. Vegetables like onions, garlic, lentils, and chickpeas were also common. Fruits such as figs, dates, pomegranates, and melons were enjoyed. Fish from the Nile River was a significant source of protein. The elite enjoyed a more lavish diet. They feasted on beef, duck, geese, and gazelle. Wine and beer flowed freely at banquets. Honey, dates, and figs were used to sweeten their food. Spices like cumin, coriander, and cinnamon added flavor to their dishes. The ancient Egyptians were deeply superstitious people. They believed in the power of magic and the influence of the stars. Amulets and charms were worn to ward off evil spirits and bring good luck. The Eye of Horus, for example, was a powerful symbol of protection, good health, and royal power. It was often worn as an amulet to ward off the evil eye. The ancient Egyptians were also skilled astronomers. They observed the movements of the stars and planets. They developed a sophisticated calendar based on the cycles of the sun and the Nile River. They believed that certain days were auspicious for undertaking important tasks. Astrology played a significant role in their lives. They consulted astrologers for guidance on everything from marriage to business deals. The ancient Egyptians left behind a legacy that continues to captivate us today. Their monuments, tombs, and artifacts offer us a glimpse into a world of grandeur, mystery, and enduring belief. Their strange habits and fascinating practices reveal a deep connection to the natural world. Their obsession with the afterlife, their reverence for their divine pharaohs, their unique hygiene practices, their worship of sacred animals, their food habits, and their rituals and superstitions all speak to a complex and sophisticated worldview. Their legacy lives on not only in the silent stones of their monuments but also in our collective imagination. They remind us of the enduring power of belief and the human desire to transcend the boundaries of time and mortality.